to lose our life in Napoli.
A little bit of a culture shock, I'm telling you.
Oh, dude, it is a hostile one. That's what Jeremy Clarkson looks like.
Yes,
Oh.
dude. Look how good this looks.
The guy took us on a rally stage for 20 euros, which in that sense, when you draw the line, it's worth it. Happened to us. My chest was getting decapitated. I was getting decapitated, but not at the head, but at the chest.
Welcome to Napoli. It's been a little bit of a trip, a little bit of a change in pace from Dallas to here. A little bit of a culture shock, I'm telling you, but in the same time, I mean, you cannot deny the beauty. Gancho here with me behind the camera. We're going to see him more throughout the day. We're going to try to go out to the Mediterranean in the port. We're obviously having a little bit of a cream croissant, some cappuccinos, and we'll tell you a story about last night. Gancho, film the chaos a little bit, dude. I'm telling you, it's every single moment in Napoli like this. You know, the rumors are true, and the drivers are absolutely crazy. But it's the charm of the place. Dad is waiting with the cream croissant. Gancho got the chocolate one. Cappuccinos, of course. Dressed in Napoli attire, a little bit of Maradona blue. The kicks kicking it off in the city. And we're hoping to bring you a little bit of a different content. Napoli, Italy for the Christmas. Obviously, not Christmas vibes, but in the same time, a mix-up is very good. We'll see you from the next scene. Hopefully from the harbor, hopefully from the port. We're trying to get some Italian drip because tomorrow we are going to Rome. We're gonna have a special segment from there. I'll see you in the next scene. I'm about to get some coffee into me and we're gonna hit the city with the boys. Super excited. See.
Go that way?
We're going down in the city.
Oh, look, it's a cat.
Going down in the city, we've seen how many cats, Gancho, have we seen?
Ooh, doesn't like me.
Years.
First cat I've seen that doesn't like me.
Imagine being hospitalized in Napoli style,
No.
ending up from a cat. Like, why did you mess up your 3-day trip for?
Tetanus shot. A tetanus
A
shot.
tetanus shot in the.
I can Rapunzel. Oh, dude, it is a hostile one.
It's a street cat. Be
Hey,
careful
kitty.
though.
This is what they call orange cat behavior.
Gancho, I wanted to tell everybody what happened with the taxi driver last night, dude.
That was Taxi 3, if you've seen the movie, with the Peugeot 406.
What was the name of the guy in there? Emmanuel or something like that?
No, it was
He was
something
pretty
with
sleek.
it was something with a C, and he drove like he's never seen a car before. But also
Okay.
very good.
So-
We were coming this close to corners, cars, pedestrians, dogs, cats, trash cans. Absolutely everything that we could hit, we almost hit.
So the guy was drifting. The guy was throwing the car in all
The guy was
possible
front-wheel
turns.
drive drifting in an SUV up our cobblestones. Also, crossing streets in Napoli is one of the most terrifying things.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like a little kid again, where your mom tells you,
When your mom tells you, hold somebody's hand.
hold my hand and look 3 times each direction.
Yeah. Spre mare? Yeah, let's go.
And the more I look,
Yeah.
the more cars come.
So
Yeah, the taxi driver last night picked us up on, there's no Uber here.
we had dinner, right? So we went on the app and we're like, okay, let's go and find an Uber.
We went on the taxi app.
Taxi app. How was it called? The contraption.
It's called Free. It wasn't free for sure, but I'll tell you what it was called. It was called Free Now.
Free now. Okay.
So we went on Free Now because there's no Uber. We called a taxi back to where we're staying.
Yeah.
And the moment the guy pulled up, he was playing Adele in the car. He was playing Adele on high volume.
That's true. I remember.
And the moment we set off, I didn't even have time to put a seatbelt on. It was a complete roller coaster, Six Flags style, up the cobblestones, up these streets.
So we were actually driving on this, which is, I don't know if you can tell, but this is smooth and it's like very slippery.
Yeah. And so, okay, well, hold on, there's a moped. So the guy goes on these cobblestones in a 2010 Renault Coleos which is an SUV from 2010,
From
with
France.
the tires and the suspension from 2010, nothing touched. Automatic transmission. At one point, he was drifting up the hills, and he was actually shifting the automatic with his hands. He was doing the up and down, the whatever the predecessor to the paddle shifters is, the clicks. And
Renault does have a Formula One team, though.
and Adele was just singing, dude. I've never felt so much chaos listening to Adele in my life. And at one point, I was telling Taylor, at one point I was gonna tell him to like slow down because we've lived 31 years now to lose our life in Napoli. But then I decided that any distraction to him would distract him from the road, and there was absolutely zero margin for error.
And we were actually driving on roads like those where you can barely fit a car by American
There was
standards.
no margins for
And our
you to
boy-
make an error.
There's no margins now. And our boy was edging every single street bump.
So anyway, at the end of this journey,
Yeah.
what was a 10-minute journey, probably like 6-7 kilometers max, 20 euros when the estimate was 16. Well, or actually the estimate was 14. And the app, even the Free Now app, that's not free at all. This whole place is just one big sarcasm, dude. This app told us it was 26, but we got a €6 discount for some reason.
So basically, they told us 14.
The guy took us on a rally stage for 20 euros, which in that sense, when you draw the line, it's worth it. But he also had one of those gimmicky tray tables that you put behind the driver's seat, and it falls on the ropes, and it kind of sits a tray table. And the tray table wasn't foldable, so if something had happened to us, my chest was getting decapitated. I was getting decapitated, but not at the head, but at the chest. Listening to Adele as well. So that was the journey last night. Was it worth it? I couldn't decide because the app lets you rate the driver. I still haven't rated him because for once it was terrifying, but he was also very good. He was also very good at hitting the angles. He was very good at driving. So I don't know how to rate him. I don't want to encourage this behavior, but he was also
Should we tell the Carabinieri what was up?
he was also super highly rated to begin with. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what was crazy. You said 4.7 out of...
Yeah, it was a 4.7. A lot of people are giving him a review, but maybe that's the norm here.
It's just a little bit stressful because there are so many cars everywhere. But we'll catch you from the port, hopefully, and we'll catch you with a beautiful pizza. What's the first pizza you want to have?
What's up?
Gancho, what's the first pizza you want to have?
I want to have something where I order two of it. Like from the get-go, they said, "What would you like to order?" I ordered 2 pizzas. So I think I'll have a margarita and then a pizza frita as well.
At the Bufala. You know they have those pizzas with sausages and fries in them.
Yes. So that's I think the vibe for today. Also want something with tomatoes, dude. I love tomatoes and I love the way they make the tomato sauce here. So I'm excited. Oh, tell them about the Lancia. The Lancia discussion. Me and Teo were talking. Ooh.
Yeah.
Me and Teo were talking about where Lancia falls in the food chain of this place.
So our question for the comment section though is, what do you know about Lancia, first of all? And second of all, where do you think it ranks in all the Italian brands? And we don't want to put Ferrari, Lamborghini, we don't want to put the big ones,
Normal
Pagani
brands.
and so on. Normal brands, day to day.
So another thing to consider there is Lancia is not sold in the United States. You can find Fiats, you can find Alfa Romeos,
Correct.
but you cannot
Dude, I
find...
never understood why the Fiat 500 penetrated in the United States so well. There are many for the fact of being such a non-US car.
Yeah, and then they have the 128, the Mazda Miata type. Little,
the one that's called the Spider.
the little convertible as well. And then the Alfa they sold back in the day in the United States and they stopped. And in the last, 4 or 5 years, they brought them back and they've actually kind of clung on. So the Alfas I get, but the Lancias have never been sold as far as I know in the United States.
My favorite
Question
Alfa,
is, who owns Lancia as well? What group? They're not by themselves 100%.
no,
they're
they
not by
cannot be, no.
themselves.
Because they wouldn't survive with one car.
Looks like we have some homework.
Now, oh yes, dude. Look how good this looks here.
Somebody's defying the street. Oh my god, this dog looks like Jeremy Clarkson. This is Jeremy Clarkson after he takes a trip. After he takes a trip, you know, they sit down to have a beer, and that's what Jeremy Clarkson looks like when he sits down after sitting in an Aston Martin the whole day.